go up against a guy like George Kittle, who has been in the league a long time, you've been in the league a long time, and you've played twice a year, like, is that kind of matchup different than a lot of matchups that you might have with other guys, because you guys are so familiar with each other?
I wouldn't say. I mean, I would just say San Fran as a whole team. You know, that Kyle Shanahan offense. They're always rolling. They always got good players and a great scheme. No matter who's in the game. Kittle, he's one of the best tight ends. Great football player, can run and block. First things first, we're going to have to be able to stop the run. Christian McCaffrey's doing a great job running the ball, receiving the ball. Their offense is a real great scheme, and I love playing against this scheme because I can appreciate good offensive schemes and good things that they do. So I have tremendous respect for those guys, and Coach Shanahan, and excited for the opportunity for them to come out here and play at home, and divisional opponent. So very excited for this opportunity that we have.
What have you learned about what it takes to deal with all the motion and disguising that Kyle Shanahan puts in his offense?
Yeah, you just got to have laser focus, a lot of motions, a lot of things that, get guys thinking various other things, but just be ready to, have a call within the call, which means like you have one call, then they get to motion in, you change that call, they might motion again, you have to change it again. So just always being on the lookout for who's motioning, formations, and, just executing our job, whatever the details of the play is, one play at a time, because it changes, almost every play.
Nick was talking about how going into a week for San Fran, he can feel like he's behind schedule as a player, just knowing all the ins and outs the offense does. What's your feeling heading into this week?
Yeah, I mean, I have a great feeling heading into this week. That's Nick's job, is to get us ready and get the play calls for us, so we can watch film, we can get the corrections in practice. So, me, it's just another opportunity to play a divisional opponent, real great offense. Have a great game plan, and we're just going to try to execute our game plan one play at a time.
Nick cited tackling could have been better in Seattle. Where would you like to see the defense sort of elevate here in the next month or so?
Yeah, elevate, honestly, everything. Whoever, whatever job you're is, I just, for me, it's just do your job mentality. Don't try to do someone else's job, and just be detailed in your calls, each player one at a time, because if one player is not detailed enough and doesn't execute their call, that can lead to an explosive, that can lead to a big gap in the run game. So just do your job mentality, one play at a time. Do your job, be detailed, align with with urgency, especially with the way that they're the offense motions, and just do your job. Honestly, that's one play at a time. Just do your job. Don't try to do anybody else's. And, of course, I think they ran for over 200 or maybe 200 last week. So just a big thing for us is stopping the run game.
You've obviously been around this team a while. You're a leader. I know expectations were probably not to have this record at this point.
Yeah.
Like, are you surprised at all? Like, what is your kind of headspace right now?
Yeah. My headspace is you can't dwell on the past. We got an opportunity to become 1-0 this week, and that's our main goal. We are what our schedule said we are at the end of the day, but that's a great thing about NFL football. Week in and week out, you have a new opportunity to play the game, a new game plan, new plays. New details that need to be correct in order to win games. So for me, it's just living in the present. Like you said, I've been doing this a long time. I've been here a long time. For me, it's always about just executing my job and never becoming complacent, just always trying to get better, whether that's a win, loss, or draw. So that's what we need to do.
You could probably argue that Trey and Kittle are the two most complete tight ends in the league. Do they have any similarities, like, hyper-competitive, or just the intensity, or is there anything, when you go against Trey, kind of helps you going against Kittle?
they both can block. They both can run routes. They're slightly different just because the offenses are kind of slightly different. But Trey, a guy who can run the whole route tree. Same with Kittle, and a guy that they exploit and put him out there. And he might be in those 1-by-3 situations, and he's matched up with a corner, and the play is for him, even though he's on the corner. Same with Trey. So those guys are, like you said, I think some of the best tight ends in the league, and guys that can, are willing blockers, which, for me as a safety, I can appreciate a tight end who's a willing blocker who also can receive the ball. So, kudos to them. I'm biased, with my guy Trey McBride, but George Kittle's a great guy, great player. Yeah, that's all I got to say.
How'd you feel Cody did rocking the green dot last week?
Yeah, I felt like he did good. I felt like he was able to give us the calls, urgency. We didn't have a mishap of not knowing the calls. He's only going to continue to get better. And, for me, it's just, just getting him to, he does a great job of getting us in line. Now it's his job to, shoot some of them gaps sometimes. I always, talk to him. If you see that thing, shoot it. And, that's only going to get better with time. That was his first start, especially having a green dot. That's a big privilege to have, but also a big responsibility to get everybody the call. And like I said, he's only going to continue to get better.